Hello friends, welcome to We Link You TV. I am Ullas. We thank you all for the amazing response what you have given for our first video. That was our introduction video from We Link You TV. So today here we come out with a very informative video, that is cyber fraud and cyber crime. In this video we will understand in what all ways the scammers try to fraud us and what are the different ways of cyber fraud in detail, and how we can recover this money also. Till today what was happening was, in spite of investigating the case and raising complaints, police used to hit a dead end where the amount would have been already been transferred and there was no possibility of recovery. But we have a good news now, that is from the Government of India and from Cybercrime and Cyber Police. So in detail, let's have a quick look on this video. There are different ways. So let's go one by one. The first one is lottery scam. We receive an SMS, we receive an email saying that we have won a bumper prize from KBC. Kaun banega crorepati. If you are using a Jio SIM, you will get a call from WhatsApp, audio call from the same Jio SIM saying that you have won a prize money of 25 lakhs or 50 lakhs. Or if it is Airtel or any other network, they'll try to call from those numbers also. Based on the network, they'll take the name. So what they do here is, they'll send us an email and they'll ask for details. Normally, we all know there are many ways how these people fraud. But there are people who doesn't know how this happens. So, in this lottery scam, what they do, once we give the credentials to them, they will send an OTP. So once we share the OTP, immediately they will take out all the money from the account. This is one. This is lottery scams or lottery frauds. The next one is credit card, debit card, reward points. How does this work? We will receive a call. Sir, your credit card reward points are expiring. Your debit card reward points are expiring. Why don't you utilize these points? So what we will do is, anyways it's our card and we have accumulated so many reward points. Will anyone miss the chance? Immediately what we will do, we will give our credentials. There again what they will do, they will ask us to select some small item based on the number of reward points what we have. And there they will share a link. Immediately we will pay. In reward points what will happen is, the complete amount will not be given as a credit. There will be something called as transaction charges. So for the transaction charges, they will send us a link. So immediately, without noticing that we are getting fraud or we are attacked by a cyber criminal, we will not know it. And we accept their link and we move further and we lose our money. So this is how credit card reward points works. This is one interesting, matrimony and Facebook. In both the places, these people create fake accounts, fake IDs. The name is different, the photograph is different. Finally, they become a good friend. They'll be in touch with us. They create a good bonding. And they will misuse us. How they will do it? They will come out with simple reasons saying that I have a business investment, I am running short of funds. Or my father, mother is not well. Immediately she has to be diagnosed. She requires a huge amount, I am not able to arrange. This is how they do. So trusting them, people transfer the funds from their accounts. And there is other two ways. One is online dating apps and gaming. If you are gaming on a legal platform, it will not be a problem. But there are people who place bets in online gaming. There, normally the dark web is very much activated there. This is how they get access with our information. And dating apps. This is one major place where there are cases which doesn't come out for the light itself. Why? Because we don't want to reveal our identity. So these two are major concern for dating apps fraud and gaming apps fraud. The next one is identity theft. You will be surprised to hear how this happens. We are going to Xerox now. We are taking Xerox of our ID proofs, mass cards, everything. There are few places where they take an extra copy of this. And whenever we are visiting a mall, there we get people who are approaching for lucky draw, lucky dip and lucky draw. There we are sharing our name, mobile number, email ID, almost everything. This is also a major concern for online fraud. So how they do this is, they take our PAN, Aadhaar, driving license, passport, all other things. In our name, they apply for loans. It can be any loan, car loan, personal loan, home loan, business loan, credit card. But today the banking system is very secure. It is not that easy to take it. But till recently, people have been misusing this and they have been trying to fraud people with this also. So this is called identity theft. The next one is mobile app and hacked accounts. We keep receiving links from unknown sources and we download those apps and we give permission to access our device. We keep on clicking allow button and we give complete authority to access the media and everything. And hacked applications. Sometimes there are certain tools which are hacked, so people buy it at a very lesser rate. So these are hacked accounts. So once we start using it, we are sharing our data with them. It is not the genuine user, it is the different user who is sharing the data. So this is how mobile and hacked accounts work. This fraud is something interesting. This is called as tax fraud or tax scam. This works in two season wise, half yearly and one full yearly. Half yearly is July, August, September, and financial year is March, April, May. How scammers use this technique is, they will call us or they will send us an SMS saying that you are eligible for a refund from income tax department. So we are sending you a link. So access the link and share the OTP. There is one more technique. Sir, you have done a short payment for your tax. You are supposed to pay full tax. The remaining tax will send a link. Please pay the remaining balance amount or you will be penalized. So these are the two ways how tax scam and tax fraud works. This one everyone knows. Who doesn't know about OLX? This is called OLX fraud or online apps fraud. In these websites, what they do, they promote a product saying that the value of the product is 50,000. We are selling it at half the price of it. There is a mobile device which is priced at 40,000. We are selling it for 20,000. How this OLX fraud works is, they will never meet in person to person and they will never try to contact you on video call also. Either they will keep on responding to your WhatsApp messages or they will call you on a normal voice call or WhatsApp call only. They will never reveal their identity. They will tell, I'm in an emergency situation, that is the reason I'm selling this product. Or I'm working for military, I'm going for another 1 year, I'll not be back to my hometown for another 1 year or 6 months. So immediately I'm in require of funds. So this is how OLX fraud works. So here what they do is, once we are on the deal, we have finalized the product and we want to buy it. The next one is cyber center fraud or Wi-Fi fraud. What we do here is, we keep on visiting cyber centers for using our net banking services or for uploading documents or applying for a job. Normally people who doesn't have a phone, smartphone or a laptop, or they want to do some project kind of thing, they'll keep on visiting the cyber centers and they'll utilize those systems over there. So whenever you are accessing any net banking through cyber centers, make sure that you don't have a camera behind of it, because in spite of erasing the data, the server will have all your data access stored there in deleted data. And we have an habit of accessing our mobile phones through Wi-Fi. Wherever we get it free, it tends to make us use it because we are getting it for free. Still, there are a huge population who uses Wi-Fi and other open sources where data is available. This is one huge potential base for the fraudsters and scammers to hack your data. So this is how cyber center data fraud and Wi-Fi fraud happens. There is one more fraud. How it happens is that is through TeamViewer and AnyDesk. Normally this doesn't happen in large extent, but still people who are not aware of it, they share their screen. They would have purchased the software. They are not able to install it properly. So in case the other person who has sold it is a fraudster or a scammer, definitely will utilize this opportunity because you have given access to your desktop. Now comes the exciting part, that is EMI fraud. How this works is, post 2020 lockdown, we have been seeing a huge number of fraud happening in this segment. How this works is, these scammers and fraudsters have all our details, that is our EMI, what is the amount we are paying, which bank we have a loan, what is the EMI date, and our name and our registered mobile number. We are very surprised how scamsters and fraudsters are able to access this data. But banks are telling we are not breaching on data, we have a very secured line, we store the customer data and we are not having any issues with our servers or anything. But again, how these people fraud us is, for an example, our EMI is on 1st, 5th or 10th or 8th, whatever date is. Before 2 days the EMI hits our account, these people will call us saying that, sir, this month we are not able to process your EMI through ECS or through NASH or through online from our bank system. So we are sending you a link. Kindly make the payment or you will be charged 500 rupees as bounce charges. Hard-earned money. So what we do is, to save that 500 rupees, we never cross-check from which link it has come. And surprisingly, these people are so technical and so foolproof. They send us the data with our account number, that is called loan account number, EMI amount, and the bank name and a link. Now, once we pay the link, they send us a receipt also. This is what surprised me as well. One major point why I made this video was, I've been receiving calls regularly. So why should I limit it to few people? That is the reason why I'm making this video. To educate people or let them know about this cyber fraud and cyber crime, how it happens. So for that reason, I'm making this video. Let them share to maximum people so that others are also benefited out of this. So now we understood how many ways scammers and fraudsters utilize their techniques. If you know something in different way, how the fraud happens, mention in the comment section. I'll share that also. After all these efforts, what we used to do was, we used to log in a complaint with cyber police, cyber crime or the concerned jurisdiction of our police limits. The police used to hit a dead end. Once they reached that place, the identity of the person who has committed a fraud would never reveal. Or they would find a person who is working as a coolie or a labor or doing an odd job. He doesn't even know that his ID card is misused. But we have a very good news for you. RBI has come out with a solution. As per RBI guidelines, the cybercrime and cyber police, they have come out with an instant solution for this. In our next video, that is part 2, let's understand in detail. In case we have been hit with a fraud or we have been approached by a fraudster, how should we deal that situation? Or some other person has lost his money, immediately what is the timely action we have to take. In detail, we will go through the all complete information in our next video. Whom should we contact? Where should we raise a concern? Whom should we meet? And every rupee of yours which is gone will come back. Isn't it a good news? So keep watching our videos, share our videos, subscribe our channel VLink U TV, hit the like button, hit the bell button, and keep supporting us. This is Ullas signing off.